And welcome back, everybody. Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith, can't stand Keith. Oh, no, Keith. Oh, Keith. Good to see you nonetheless. Glad to be back in the seat. Every day above ground is a good day. If you didn't know, boy, is it ever a good time to tell people you love them, to tell people that you're here for them, and to tell people, hey, it isn't easy to be out here. Make the best of it, okay? Just remember that. I won't go too much into it farther than that. I hate to see good people get hurt. I hate to see good people pass. Simple as that. It's unnecessary, senseless, and ridiculous. As grown adults, we should be able to talk problems out. If you can't handle that, you're not an adult. You're just not an adult. You're a child. Do better, all right? We can all do better. Say it all the time. Let's have a better day today than we did yesterday, all right? And on that note, welcome to Crypto Before Dark. If you have not done so, please go hit the like button. It costs nada to hit the like button. Follow along while you're there. Hit like. If you're on X, give us a repost. If you're on the YouTube, give us a like. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from if you're over on YouTube. I couldn't get Rumble to work. I don't know exactly what was going on. I got some RTM errors there when I tried to start. Worked yesterday. So it threw me off. I don't know. It's really weird. So I got to dilly-dally with that a little bit and figure out what happened because I don't know. It was working just fine. And then, no, it's not. Which sucks because, believe it or not, folks, just fine. The really interesting thing you might not know about is Rumble pays way more than all the other platforms for way less. And I need you to know that way more is still only a couple dollars. But that's still way more than what YouTube would pay you. We might make $10 or something like that a month on YouTube, maybe. And we make far less than that on X. So, we pay for X. So it's actually a loss. You're not going to make a lot of money unless you say a bunch of hot topic stuff and you get on here running your mouth online. I don't like doing that stuff. You know what I mean? That's not me. That's not me. I keep it real. I try to keep it real. If I don't keep it real, you guys won't come back around. I know how it works. So anyway, let's talk about some charts, shall we? Shout out to everyone watching. We'll get to everybody's name in a moment. As always, we start with Bitcoin, and then I'm going to go into Total 3, which is what you saw in the thumbnail. I talked about why this was important and what was going on. I'll get into it a little bit more as we go. Okay, so the thumbnail is not clickbait. The thumbnail was real. But let's start with what we go over every time. Our current BTC price action, Bitcoin price action. What's happening at the moment? Well, we've made this breakout, and since we had our live stream Tuesday, we've had another very, very good day. Excellent. We don't usually get good Wednesdays. We actually got a really, really nice Wednesday right there. It's a rare thing for us to get a nice Wednesday, but we got it. We call them wonky Wednesdays because every Wednesday comes in a little bit different. One time it's good, one time it's bad, and you can't really get a feel for what the market is doing. It's super confusing and frustrating. You know what I mean? Part of the gig, I get it. But nonetheless, price action has improved some. If we pull up our moving averages, you'll see that we broke the 821 EMA yesterday by closing over the 821 and 100 moving averages. The 8 and the 21 EMA are the green and purple line right there. If you're ever wondering, what do the green and purple lines mean? I don't understand. What does all this mean, Keith? It doesn't make sense. Well, I'll break it down for you, okay? The 821 EMA goes a little something like this. The 8 exponential moving average is 8 periods, in this case 8 days, exponentially moving averaged on the screen. What is a moving average? Well, it's just the price of the coin each day, and then the next day we divide it by 2, and the next day we divide it by 3, and the next day we divide it by 4, and that gives us a moving average. Now we use daily, weekly, and monthly moving averages because those are the easiest ones to use that require the least amount of time for you to understand what's going on, right? What is an exponential moving average? What is a regular moving average? Well, a regular moving average is what I just stated. An exponential moving average, an EMA, is the same thing with a little bit more credit given to where it opened rather than always where it closed, okay? So this kind of smooths the lines out a little bit. And moving averages are always the close. Exponential moving averages are the close plus some. That's the better way of saying it. The 8 exponential moving average is the green line, 8 EMA, and the purple line is the 21. Why are the green and purple? Well, it's a great question. This is simple. It's what I prefer. It's also what I learned with. But you can change them to whatever colors you like. I use the standard colors that come this way green and purple. Green, it's a buy. When you get 2 candles closed in a row over the green EMA, the green 8 EMA, that's a buy signal. When you get 2 closes under the 21 EMA, that's a sell signal. Why do you use green? Why use purple? That's the way they come. But green for buy, purple for sell. Purple's my ex's favorite color. I just don't really like the color purple. So that's the bad line. That's the ugly line. The good line is the green line. It's about making money. That's why they're green and purple. It's very simple. When we get a cross where we get green over the purple, this is a second bullish signal, right? And right there we have it. 8 has crossed over the purple, which is 8 over the 21 EMA. Excellent. What comes next? Well, this close here kind of solidifies it, right? Doesn't mean that we're going to go flying up, but what it does mean is that we got some price action that finally respects a little bit of what we were looking for. Those kind of things give us the signals we need to flip more bullish or more bearish, right? That's an 821 EMA for you. That's why I talk about it all the time. If you go back in history and you look, it's not perfect, but it's a pretty good filter of early up or early down in either direction. And then when you flip it to the weekly, you'll see even better results with even less effort. All right, so cool. Backing away from that, the third part would be the 50 moving average, which is this yellow line you see here. We need to close above it, and that would be each part of the Reaper strategy. Well, what is the Reaper strategy? It's 2 closes over the 8 EMA, an 821 EMA upward cross, and closing over the 50 EMA, the yellow line. The only thing we haven't got yet is over the yellow line. You see right here, 8 EMA buy, 821 EMA buy. With the flag up, the little triangle up, all we have left is that yellow box to pop up and tell us 50 EMA buy. Hasn't done that yet because it's not over it yet, but as soon as it does, that's an even better position. I do expect things to get held up here. I don't expect only up, not the way things work, you know. So it's good improvement, and I'm happy for it. Great. What about our liquidity levels? We talk about this every time. Where are the hunts going to happen, right? Where are the liquidity hunters going to go to find the biggest amount of wins each time, no matter whether they're going up or down? Well, we did take care of one of those levels recently, which was at about 113, right? We nuked that line that I talked about last time. We've gotten over it by closing above it, which you see right here. I got down to the 4-hour chart here just so we can see liquidity, right? Our next level to the left, where price action made a lower high and dramatically fell off, is right here at about 117. Not exactly 117, but pretty darn close to it, all right? That's why I've got this red line and this green box drawn here, because both of the price actions, both of those are confluence of the area where I think price action is going to go, all right? The last high before more down, great, attacking the highs, exactly what we want to see. That's a liquidity sweep. It also happens to be resistance. If you look back here, got resistance through here where all these candles closed. Won't be necessarily easy to get pushed through that, but an upward move up there first does solidify a little bit of strength, especially if it can get up here and close. Because if it can do that, well, it's taking out the previous high and sitting on top of it. Good. That's holding support rather than failing resistance, which would be a flip, and that would be even more bullish. All right, if we pull our pivot points up, we see that we are over the pivot on the daily. That's awesome. What about the downside risks here? The downside risks are still 110, 109, 107, 105. All those right there have long liquidity. Where you see those green dash lines, that's where people bet on it to go up, and they bet on it in bulk to go up right there. That becomes a target for the bears who wanted the price to go back down. Where are you going to go to make the most money? Right there is where you're going to go to, those green lines. Same thing for the bulls. They want the price to go up, so they attack the liquidity levels. Those liquidity levels are those 3 lines there. That's where I expect the price to go next. My nose is itching, goodness. We could put up some Fibonacci retracement, and what you'll see is a lot of these lines sort of coincide with Fibonacci lines and areas already. I got it in linear mode, but I put it in log mode. It doesn't matter. You'll see right there we're about at the golden pocket on that liquidity level, and both these liquidity levels are up here near Sniper's Alley. So no matter which way you cut this, doesn't matter. It's going to be about the same either way. those levels still reign supreme. All right. Now, from another perspective, how about we put the Ichimoku cloud up here? That's a problem, right? You still have a red cloud on the end. We don't want to see red clouds. Okay. Well, price is under the cloud. We need it over the cloud. Not going to get it. If you look closely here, the blue line, the conversion line, is underneath the red line, the baseline. It's supposed to be the other way around. Supposed to have blue over red. Last piece, lag line is under the candles. It needs to be over the candles. No help, no soup, no good. So we have improvement, but it's risky improvement as far as Bitcoin goes. Plus, let's add the next piece of the puzzle to this before we talk about total 3, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has finally hit its descent here. Finally. Now, yes, it did jump to the other side of this trend line, but it has not attacked the highs and continues to struggle with that 821 EMA, just like I told you a minute ago. You remember when I said, hey, 821 EMA, I want to see 2 candles over the green line for a buy, 2 candles under the purple line, the 21 EMA for a sale. What did we get right here? 1, 2. So right here's where the sale started. And it has not wavered yet. You got one close back over the 21. We need 2. That was only 1 because the next candle got under it. Fine. And we're right back to shorts again. Short. And we have not attacked the 21 EMA yet since we got this big drop all the way back at the very beginning of July. That's Bitcoin dominance falling off, which means money is not flooding into Bitcoin, but the price is still going up. Hey, this is retail holding the market up. This is older money not piling in, but new money coming in, and the old money moving around in the background to other stuff. Well, what else would they buy? Perfect question. How about we pull up total market cap 1, 2, and 3. That's what you see here on the screen. Total market cap 1 on the left, that's every crypto all combined. Total market cap 2 in the middle is everything minus Bitcoin. And total market cap 3 on the right is everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Make sense? Perfect. Now you understand what I'm trying to go for here. As you see, Bitcoin's over here with the big dog in total market cap 1, still way up there over the breakout, still flying high, aiming toward that $4.6 trillion mark. Total 2, as you see, fighting to get at that previous all-time high, hasn't hit it yet. I want to make note that total 3 over here has hit its all-time high before already once, and it has poked its neck at it again, and looks like it's trying to poke its head at it one more time right now. Let's go a little deeper and pull it up by itself, shall we? And we shall. 821 weekly looks great. No point in having it on there. Here's a little bit more zoomed out 1,000 foot angle here. Started back here at the end of the end of the bull run last time. Big, huge extended downtrend. We finally broke out all the way back in February of 24. You remember that? Up it's went. This is total market cap 3, by the way, not total market cap 1 or 2. This is just altcoins. Still to this day, falls, has a consolidation period, but manages to buck itself back up and not just roll over and quit. Now I've got expected target up here at the 1272 to the 1414 fib. That's 1.6 to $2 trillion. My question is, can it get up here? And I think the answer is yes. And I'll go a little bit deeper here. It's hit this level every time before. I'm to believe it's going to do it again. Until it proves that it can't, I'm to expect it to continue. All right. If I pull fibs out here, on the short term, this is the little last downtrend we had that started at the beginning of this year. You guys know that sucked, right? Well, total 3's mostly rebounded all that, while a lot of coins have not improved. Total 3 has made up a lot of that ground without most coins improving. That's very interesting, all right? Because only a certain few are kind of holding the line so far. More importantly here, note that the 1618 on this fib I just pulled right here, from this spot down to this spot, that last high down to this last low, it measures back up to the 1.618 that comes right up here to the bottom of that box that I just drew right there in green with the little money emoji. That 1.618 lines up almost perfectly with the 1.272 at about $1.64 trillion. Now, can it get to the 2 fib mark? I guess it could, but more realistically, I like the 1618 on that short term that lines up with the 1272 on the long term. All right. So the data kind of points to that area as an area of confluence. I think it's going to get there in due time. I don't think it's going to do it tomorrow. Okay. In due time. Don't get to push the button and just make stuff happen. Not how it works. We all know that. We all know that. So good news is I still think there's room here. Now, the interesting part of this is only certain few coins have got all the moves and taken all the liquidity. So do you start focusing on the ones that haven't done very well? Or do you take that money and put it in only the ones that have done extremely well, since it's more of a sure thing? What's a tough call? I understand it's a tough call. It's a tough call for me to make, and I don't even know if I want to make it or not. So I've already been buying my stuff. I already told everyone in the Discord what I'm buying and selling. I bought a bunch of everything that I wanted to get, and I got it in bulk. I still have a bunch of stable coins left. Still planning out how I want to attack the rest of it. I'm very sketched out by the market. I think you guys could understand why I'm kind of sketched out about the market. So I'm trying to tiptoe a little bit if I can. While we're on the subject of altcoins, let me pull up others.d. Others.d is a representation of everything excluding the top 10. So this is all altcoins except the top 10. Now, what's top 10? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, XRP, Cardano, USDT, NC, Wrapped Ether, Wrapped Bitcoin, and one other one. That's the top 10. Right? So take those out, move them off, and all the rest of them are in this pile, okay? 8.1% of all the market is in strictly altcoins, not in the top 10. So that's 8% of almost $4 trillion freaking dollars. Now 10% would be 400 billion. So we're just under 400 billion worth of altcoins. Just altcoins. That's insane. That's a really, really high number when you put it in those perspectives. I think there's more left in the tank, though. We had this number higher. Back at the beginning of 2021, the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, it was 20% of the market. 20%. I mean, I'm just saying. It was really jumping back then. Is it possible we get back up there again? Well, we haven't tested those levels, but I guess it's possible. Yeah, I guess it's possible. Looking at it, hey, if this thing wants to giddy up and get going, it would be about time situation. Because look, I mean, this thing's kind of consolidated for a while now. Sideways and down for a long time. Sucks. But look, hey, 821 weekly, you're getting the cross that you want. There's your 821 EMA. You're well over the 8. You're now 2 candles over the 21 EMA as well, and you're about to get an 821 cross, which helps solidify your other buys, right? Last piece of the puzzle would be a 50 moving average break. As you see, we haven't even come close to that yet. So there's more potential room here for altcoins before they run into some heavy resistance, or at least a little bit of leg stretching, right? At least a little bit of leg stretching. I believe we're going to get that leg stretch in the next several weeks. Today, we had CPI numbers come out. CPI numbers came back higher inflation month to month, 0.1% higher year to year core. And then unemployment came back higher than expected. So now you've got short-term inflation going up a touch. Long-term inflation kind of up a little, but not much. But the problem is you've got a jobs deficiency now that you got to take care of. And I saw a report right before the live stream started that mortgage rates saw their biggest cut in years happen today. So they're having to lower mortgage rates in order to get people to buy again because the houses are too darn expensive. And no one will go buy them because they cost too much unless you've got excess cash laying around or you're sitting on a gold mine in a fully developed city that you want to move out of. You don't have the funds to really take care of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to relocate to a different state. So only way to get new people buying is to ask them to buy with lower rates. You give them lower rates, they will spend more money. It's only a matter of time. But baby steps, one thing at a time. I like the improvements. Daily on the others. Look, I mean, you've broken the 200 moving average. And you've got a pretty solid sweep up here. So even a consolidation is not going to break my heart too much as long as it stays over support. That's a pretty darn good look. I think that's a pretty darn good look. What do you guys think? I think it's a pretty darn good look. The Dinger Bell decides it does too. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to one I forgot to do last time. And it's my bad on this one. Let's hit the jazz. My bad on this one. But we didn't do DAG last time. And I was trying to remember to do it so I wouldn't forget and to be like, oh, you didn't miss the day. I'm trying to do it. I'm sorry. So in the last several days, all DAG has done is kind of sold off. Whether I draw it like this or whether I draw it like I just had it, she hasn't done much of anything yet. So we can kind of just erase this and leave it be. Look, I mean, there's no volume at all. She's tapering off very, very aggressively. That broken trend line is unacceptable. Linear or log mode, doesn't matter. You've got the pivot S1 down here. So at 0.026, call it 0.025, you've got some support where it could catch and hold. But again, this thing needs to move off of this and not continue to sell off like this. This is brutal for this. It can't continue to maintain this kind of sell pressure. So we never quite got to our take profit zones up there. I thought we would get another move off this, and DAG really, really laid over pretty hard. Remember, please, that I kind of try to tell everybody that you should expect the worst and get out when needed. And people like this, I always keep track of by putting stupidity on my charts just so I can remember it. You know what I mean? Just so I can remember it. These people are extremely emotional investors who think they've bought something that's solid gold, and unfortunately, they've been sold a bill of goods that's inaccurate. But you can't tell people. They have to learn for themselves. And it's quite often one of them things where they just don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. They don't want to learn for themselves. That's part of the game. I just keep saying it, and then eventually some people listen and some people don't. It is what it is. Ichimoku Cloud on the weekly is terrible. It's 4 out of 4. How about the daily? Also 4 out of 4, no. You've got lag under the candles. You've got baseline over the conversion. That needs to be blue over the red, not red over blue. You've got a red cloud on the end. You've got price clearly under the cloud. This is no good. Sorry, not going to get it. Vast improvement is needed. It's way too risky for me. I would need to see some proof that it's going to move. How about an RSI go oversold, or a MACD turn up with some good volume, or an 821 EMA break, or maybe flip some of the Ichimoku Cloud check marks and red X's back and forth. But for now, yeah, just keeping it real with you, man. This one's rough. I know that sucks for me to say to some people, but hey, man. Sometimes you just got to keep it real. Let me say hey to everybody real quick. Shout out to Matoshi. What's up, Matoshi? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Killer Smile? That's Cheese. Raclette. He's an admin. I'm one of the moderators in our Discord. Shout out to Jeremy Crypto Trauma. He's one of the moderators. SoCal Resident. What's up, brother? Good to see you. BTC CME just below the 50. There you go. So he's saying there's a small CME gap. We can look at that. And then over on YouTube, who do we got? Crew Chief. What's up, brother? Poochie, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Legal Assassin says, forgot we got the earlier time and YouTube just pinged me. Hey. Hell yeah, dude. Crew Chief says, let's go. I liked it, then was looking for the retweet button. That's funny. Cody Cancel, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Electric mother freaking Ken. Let's go. Charts can't lie. Good to see you, brother. 4 p.m. Andy Navon, good to see you, brother. Last but not least, the Crypto Elephant. Thursday daytime stream. Let's go. All right, sweet. Back to the charts. I just said hey to everybody. That's all. Let's look at Ethereum. Splat out. So I've got the weekly fibs pulled up here for Ethereum and sort of got the layout of the entire Ethereum, sort of a fractal. It's following along fairly well with what I thought it would do. Note that the end of the bull run is usually in blue right here. It's been this way for Ethereum every time too. and we are approaching the blue. You see that? So we're running out of time for this thing to do its thing. If it can't do its thing, well, guess what? We're stuck waiting again that it may or may not do its thing, but we got to hang it out and watch it. For now, we're still over the 8 EMA on the weekly. The really interesting stuff is over on the daily. All right. As you see recently, just in the last couple of days, she re-jumped over this 821 EMA, and you're about to get an 821 EMA cross at today's closing. Excellent. Look at that hook that it's trying to do right here. Is this going to come up and fail? It's possible. Or are we going to get this hook that runs up here and tries to sweep this previous high and nukes out some of them shorts? I'm on the team nuke the shorts. I don't know about you guys. That's what I want to see. We had really wonky price action this morning. I actually didn't trade Bitcoin or Ethereum. I actually traded XRP this morning during live trading. Made a 14% trade and walked away and said that was good enough for me. It was really wicked price action. Now, I would still be in more money now if I stayed in, but boy, did it get wicked as soon as I took profits. That thing started jumping up and down. I was like, whoa. That was about the time CPI news came out. Good news is I kind of got out front of that. I got my stuff done before that happened. Done and gone. So 4-hour Ethereum, you're sitting over top of all the moving averages, even after that really wonky red candle that came earlier during the CPI reports. Hold fast and don't lose support, and you got a chance to keep going here. And again, the weekly, if I scroll out a little bit, you'll see the numbers up here at 5,000, 6,000, and 8,000. For now, let's stick with some basic stuff. Let's work back toward 5,500 to 5,700, and then we'll see from there, all right? That's sort of a collaboration between log mode and linear mode. You can kind of see a correlation between the two sometimes, so that's kind of in between there. I want to see that first before I say, hey, we killed it. Now, there's possible that the bull run goes out past our cutoff time. We get other stuff go up in the meantime. I don't know that yet, all right? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole just yet and start saying that I think that's going to happen. It's really, really tough to say. First, let's get to the end of the year, okay? I do think we're starting our end of the year push from here, moving through the end of the year, right? Because we got rate cuts probably coming next week on the 17th. Then we have more rate cuts coming between October and December. Then we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping it goes out past December, but I'm really not expecting it. So, yeah. Team prices go up. Team prices go up over here. All right, so that's Ethereum. Oh, by the way, it's over the pivots. It's fighting R2 on the weekly. R3 is up there near 5,100. So call it 5,000 to 5,250, right? 525, something like that. That makes good sense to me. All right, one that I didn't go over last time. It's Undo. All right, so let us begin. Undo. So I pulled a video out of this one last time. I want to talk a little bit about the price action and what I saw and why I bought this and why I got in and why I thought it was important to talk to everybody about. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, we had this big downtrend after this run up. We had this run up and then it stopped, right? It started slowing down. We can measure the slowdown. This slowdown stopped at the 50 fib. When you stop at the 50 fib and you don't go below that 50 fib, that's sort of a continuation signal for people like me. Now we're just waiting to see the pattern we want to see, all right? So now that retrace is done, we've kind of found our footing here. Now we need to stay above this footing, and we did. We stayed above that footing right there. Excellent. We also got this sort of price action. It's sort of a oblong-shaped cup and handle. Not the point I want you to see. More so I want you to see that it held support and didn't let it go. And because it held support and didn't let it go, it was able to attack resistance and start breaking through some of it. Here's our moving averages. 821 and 50 moving average. You bounced off of the 100 and the 200. You're about to have all your moving averages in the proper order all together at one time in the next couple of days. That's a fabulous looking daily chart. And the weekly, I'm going to pull up my personal Ondo chart here. Look, you're pushing through the weekly 50 moving average on Ondo, making a monster move. If I drop the moving averages off, you can sort of see that inverse head and shoulder at the bottom here. I've got some targets marked out where I do think price will eventually get to here between 130 and 150. We'll see from there. I would love to see this thing attack highs and really take off and start to sprint and chase these upper levels up here. Obviously, you've got to see my price. You see how much I bought of it. If it gets up there, dude, I'm absolutely killing it. That's worth $20,000 or more for me. So fingers crossed, right? I can't make it happen, but I do think we at least get to the yellow boxes up here in time. She's 4 out of 4 on the itch emote, or not quite 4 out of 4, but price is over the cloud. Come on, button. Sweet, it's right there. You can see it. All right, we have, if you zoom in really close right here, the blue line, the conversion line, is over the baseline. Excellent. The lag line, is it over the candles? Well, it sure is. Right there it is, and right there the candles are. Last but not least, what color is the cloud on the end? Is it red or is it green? It's red. Not quite there. Not quite there. It's close. Close. Not quite there. This flips green. That's 4 out of 4. And that's sort of our last, okay, we're good enough now kind of marker. And as far as the weekly goes, you're not there on the weekly at all. That's what I say. If this thing can get over some resistance and sit on it and flip some more of these indicators bullish, you'll see things change. You'll see things change. Baby steps, right? But things are much improved. This week kind of changed a lot of stuff here. Seeing it bounce up like this and create that sort of inverse head and shoulders at the bottom like that, that's a nice bullish setup. And I think we got a chance for some gains here. I'm in it. What about you guys? What's up, Wesley Hart? Good to see you, brother. I'm going to get something to drink here. I got to go to a son's fundraiser after this too, so. Fishing team fundraiser. All right, we already did Ondo. Well, watch closely. Don't want to miss the fun of an extended run, but don't want to get stuck holding the bag either. Absolutely, dude. We have an inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin daily. If we get down, I'd say the neckline should support a bounce. And yeah, I would say you're probably about right. I'd say I'm cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. I've been that way for a couple months now. Cautiously optimistic, but we're not getting the moves that we're starting to see some pushes here where the price kind of pushes in a little bit and gives us a big hardy move. Baby steps. I mean, if we're going to keep that up, we're going to start breaking resistance. And we break resistance, boy, we can really get moving like we did right here. Right? We can really stretch those legs. I'm hoping the legs get stretched for sure. For sure. So hang with it, everybody. Don't quit. I keep saying this all the time, man. It's easy to quit. It is easy to quit. It is hard to stick this stuff out. Anything worth doing is difficult to do. Remember that, please. Anything worth doing is difficult to do. We don't do them because they're easy. We do them because they're difficult. Okay? We're humans and we must be challenged. It's the way our brain works. You challenge us and we come up with a solution. Time and time again throughout history, charts are no different, okay? You just got to stick with it and dig in and not quit. Can't be a quitter, man. And I know sometimes you get down on yourself and you want to quit and you get upset and you get mad and you get frustrated. Well, me too. Me too. I sit right here in this chair every day getting a little bit more frustrated and a little bit more depressed and a little bit more anxiety behind all this shit. You think I don't? You think I'm immune to it? You think it's easy for me? No. No, I've got everything riding on this. Everything that I've got is riding on this. What are you guys doing? Is this just your fun hobby? Because it's not fun to me. It used to be fun. It's not fun to me. This is my life. I'm standing on this hill 10 toes down. So, hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? It's a different level here. There are levels to this stuff, yeah? It's a different level over here. I'm trying my best. I'm dug all the way in. I'm in the trench over here, man. All right, so next up, we'll go to everybody's favorite XRP.
Come on, man.
I know, dude. Part of the game. People are going to make fun of you, Keith. Just got to roll with it. All right, so let's start with the weekly. All right, this green box that you're going to see first, I say weekly, I do monthly. This green box was one of my first, it's going to hit that, no way targets, and it's done it. So good. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I'll go down to weekly because that's just going to disturb your viewing here and not make it easy to see. So this move that we made back down here to support is actually perfectly fine. Coming back down and testing previous support is a bullish scenario. Perfect. You came down, you test support, exactly what we wanted to see. If you're calling me during the middle of a live stream, then I know you're not a real person. You know I'm at live streams right now. You know that. Anyway, broke trend line here. I love that. We'll get down to the daily and see that in a moment. More so, I wanted you to see the support catch here, and then it didn't give up. It got to support, bounced it, and so far, it's got a pretty good reaction. 821 EMA, you're still over the 8. You closed 2 candles underneath the 8, but now you're back over it. On the weekly, let's go down to daily and see it there. All right. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles over the 8 EMA, an 821 EMA cross. And look right here. We are battling right now to try to close over that 50-day moving average. If it does, you will get your third line of yes, 8 EMA buy, 821 EMA buy, and that 50 EMA buy will pop up right there. Reaper line, set your stop loss underneath that. That's an acceptable amount of risk. Typically, up to you though. Those are about the risks that I use. I would set my stop loss underneath the Reaper line and I'd leave her be. And every green day that we get is the day that I would slide my stop loss up a little bit more and a little bit more. And this locks in wins and limits losses. Okay? I can't tell you how much important it is to limit losses. Losses pile up very rapidly, folks. And before you know it, you're underneath yourself and you can't get back right. The Ichimoku cloud has improved. We're still in the cloud. We don't have any check marks yet. You can see that right there. The blue is under the red. That's not going to get it. We got a red cloud on the end. We got the price in the cloud, but not above the cloud. We've got lag lines still under the candles. That's not good enough. Oscillators. Your RSI is slowly moving up. Not bad. Not bad. MACD slowly moving up. You got good consistent volume coming for 4 days in a row now. Good. Look at the extended sell-off we had though. Son of a bitch. But it's trying to improve. You had big divergence up here. We're starting to get a little bit of divergence, but this amount's okay and kind of nominal. As you can see here, this is a nominal amount of divergence between the lines, the difference in between the lines. You have that similar stuff here. We are attacking the midline, which makes me think we got some more up in it here. All right, pivot points, you are over the pivot line. That's awesome because that's more bullish than bearish. This is a good scenario for XRP. I've already got a bunch. What about you guys? Are you guys buying XRP? Drop that in the comments of this and let me know. Are you buying some? Are you in it? Are you not in it? What's up with you? What do you think? Tell me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. I want to hear your opinions too. All right, cool. All the fake outs slowed us down. Yes, they have. And it's been effing brutal fake outs too. Not little bitty fake outs, just big old fake outs. By the way, over on YouTube, you guys, do me a solid. Go hit like. I can see those likes over there as they happen. Half of you haven't liked the video and you're watching. Go hit like, man. It's free. Cost absolutely nothing. That's why we do these. Yeah, so let's do a couple more. I'm going to cut this off about 10 minutes early today because, like I said, I got to get to my son's fundraiser and stuff. I want to get off here a little soon so I can make sure I got everybody ready to go and moving around before we get there. It's always busy over here. I wish it was not that case, but it is. All right, Rio. Pull her up, Keith. What she got? We'll do the MEXC one? Yeah, we'll do MEXC. All right. Over the last several days, Rio has improved. She's jumped the pivot line, as you see right here. That's good. That's more bullish than bearish. Furthermore, she's jumped the 821 EMA, the 200 moving average, and the 5100 it's trying to take today. Now, I want to warn you with some cautious optimism here. She's still got a trend line right here. You could argue that it's under. You could argue that it's broken it. Be careful. It's a little bit subjective on that one. Ichimoku cloud, you're still very much 4 out of 4 no on that. That's a red cloud on the end. That's price under the cloud. That's the baseline over the conversion line, and that's the lag line under the candles. All 4 of those need to flip the other direction, but there is improvement. The last 6 days here have been really good for Rio. They've been a good change. Oscillators are nominal and pointing up. That's good. You're getting some stuff here that is showing improvement. Thank you. Finally. Overall weekly, look, I mean, she came down here to support and has so far bent the knee, and went down. Can it stand back up on its own 2 feet again? Well, we're going to find out. All right. So there's our April line from where we were up on our very, very tip-top highs. All right, we can pull that from up there, or we can pull a fib from here. I'll start from here and just say that's correct. Don't really know for sure. But what I will say is it did bounce the 236 very nicely. Last piece of thing it needs to do is get through that trend line. Here's the weekly 821 EMA to go on top of it. You'll see that it's fighting it right now. Hasn't gotten through, but once it does, it's got a clear path back to the 44 to 45 cent range, where I do think it's going to get to. That's a good hefty gain there if it gets that. You know what I mean? Hey, as an improvement to be made there. We do Zoom tonight, Ken. What's up, Marco B? Good to see you. What's up, Crypto Big D? What's up, brothers? Good to see you. It's all right if you're a little bit late. Nobody minds. Go hit like, though. All right, so I don't want to get off in the woods on any other indicators. She's improved. She's not perfect. It's showing like it wants to try, but there's still stuff in the way. I'm hoping so. Hoping it gets moving because the gains are big over here. This is a low cap coin. If this thing does anything like I think it might, and it gets anywhere near $1, I mean, that's 350%. That's a great move. So, that's just to $1. We could get more than that. What if it gets wild and really breaks out and runs? We got the $3 to $7 range up there that it could get to, but we've had so many fake outs. I don't want to go too far down that road. You know what I mean? Get something to drink. All right. Peak. Whoops, spelled it wrong. There we go. All right. So peak continues here to show that it might be ready. Look at this. Hey. I haven't looked at peak since the last time someone on here probably requested it, but look at this. All right. That's a weekly potential breakout, depending on how we draw this. If we draw it like this, might be there, right? 821 EMA, you're just now breaking the 8. That's a good thing. Pivot, you did get down to S2 and hold on to it. That's good. Ichimoku Cloud's terrible. How about the daily? Oh, look at this one candle today has kind of set this thing off. Look at that thing come off that 821 EMA and 50 moving average. My goodness. I love it when technical analysis comes together. 821 EMA, 50 moving average. You closed over top of them 3 times in a row. The candle that shoots up today pushes you up to the 100 moving average. You love to see it. Oscillators. You finally got some juice out of that RSI. Good. How about the MACD? Hey, that's some solid volume coming in right there. And now she's threatening to cross the midline. Once that orange crosses the midline, all we're money. All right, closing over the 100 moving average here is a big deal, obviously. Here's the daily pivots. You could tell that, oh, look, oh man, even more confluence. Pivot line. That's one. You're over it. Perfect. How about 821 EMA? Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles you had. 5 candles to buy this one. Nice. What about an 821 EMA cross? You got it right there. What about the 50 moving average? Let me put it up here. 50. What can I say? That's beautiful technical analysis. For the people who say it doesn't work, sorry.
Wrong.
You just got proven wrong. That's beautiful work. It's just beautiful work. It's not always going to be perfect. Boy, when it comes together, does it ever make harmonious, beautiful music? I love to see a plan like this happen. It's a beautiful move. I hope people got into it. I didn't, but I very well may after this live stream. Boy, look at the available potential gains in this heifer. My goodness. So if this thing gets back to previous all-time high, which is unlikely, but if it does get close, it's 569% back to Sniper's Alley. All right, let's take this a little deeper. All right, so scroll this over a little bit here and give us some room to look at it. Yeah, that Sniper's Alley level is going to be the level I'm going to target. That's 550%, back up to 50 cents. Real quick, Legal Assassin, what's the market cap on this? Real quick, like, let me know. Let me know. I want to know. Market cap is probably pretty spicy on this one. It's probably pretty spicy. Best for me to listen to Keith at 2x speed. That's pretty good. Anyway, I like the way this looks. I'm seriously going to consider buying some of this. I got to talk with the guys tonight. Sometimes cooler heads prevail when we talk with each other a little bit and we don't just make a rash decision. 500% can kind of sound like opium. I don't want to jump off a ledge over this. You know what I mean? 88 million. Ooh, it's a low market cap. Potential's there. 8 times 5 is 40. Can I get to $400 million? Maybe. All right. It was there before, wasn't it? Or did they print a bunch of coins? Sometimes they print a bunch of coins and it comes off as BS. You know what I mean? Should be around 200 million, he says. Yes, less. He said 88. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Koalas in 80 minutes. I'm watching cheese, but I will be at a fundraiser. One more. We'll do one more. I want everyone to see this one and make note. All right. This is a little bit of a long shot, but I want you to take note of Theta. We made really good money with Theta back in the day. All right. It already did a 5x one time this bull run. And I think there's a solid possibility they could do it again. I want you to see what we see on the weekly and on the daily. A lot like Peak, where you had this big run down and you got a potential to come back up. All right. I'll put the moving averages up here so we can see them. There we go. That's 821. And then your 50, 100, 200. You can see they're all kind of bunched up together up here at about $1.20 to $1.50. And the price right now is about 82 cents. But if you look at the daily real quick, look at this. Just recently did this thing jump the 821. Excellent. You got an 821 cross. Excellent. Yesterday, she closed over the 50 and the 200 moving average. And today, she's back tested it very, very nicely. I like a lot of dingers. That's a lot of, I hit dingers. I like it. MACD, you've curled up. You do got some divergence here, so be careful. RSI, you started that sweep up. That's good. We see a rising RSI with a rising price. That's bullish convergence. That's a good thing. Bollinger Bands, look at them starting to squeeze here. Squeezing with the move up like that is a bullish sign. It may be short term for a couple days bearish. There's a possibility here that these Bollinger Bands squeeze in and this thing makes a pop. I'm here for it and I hope so. I've already bought in. I'm going ahead and telling you guys I did it. I've already bought in because I like to disclose stuff like this. I like to disclose stuff like this so you guys don't complain and say, oh, he's going to dump on my head. I already told you I bought. Don't complain. I'm going to sell it. I always sell this stuff and I always take profits, but I always tell everybody that I've sold it and tell everybody that I take profits, which is how I make it more moral to me. All right. I don't do it on anybody's head to make fun of anybody. I don't laugh at people afterwards and that kind of stuff. It's not dunking on anyone. It's just something that I teach everybody, man. Get your profits or someone will get them for you. Because if you don't want them, I promise you somebody else wants them. So keep your eye on Theta. I think it's got a chance to do some more up here. Might not be immediately, but over the next couple weeks, I think we got gains in it. So that was 50 minutes. There's another gamble I was looking at. I'm not into it, but I can see C98 once upon a time was 6 and it's only 5 cents. I'll look at it later. I promise. I got to get off here. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. I got to go to a fundraiser. I would do a full hour, but I did 50 minutes instead. It'll have to work. Not a whole bunch of people watch this stream anyway. We only had about 300 on here. We usually hit about 500 to 800. Last time we hit 1,000. I was really hopeful we continue doing that, but hopefully sentiment comes back when some of these coins start to come back up again. I think some people are holding on to some stuff and they're a little bit heartbroken. That's all right. It's kind of par for the course. It's the game we play. Thank you all. I appreciate it. You guys could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. It means the world to me. Thank you. Seriously. Because in all the things that are happening in the world, We could have a really bad day. We're still here. We're still alive. No complaining. All right. Let's make the best of our todays, the worst of our tomorrows. Yesterday was a rough day. Today's 9/11. Never forget. Never forget. Okay. I remember exactly where I was this day in 2011. I was in the drive-thru at Taco Bell when someone come through the drive-thru and told me, "You see them hijacking mother." I said, "What are you talking about? Have you not heard the news?" "No, I haven't. I'm sorry." "Well, go turn it on." He was the only car in the drive-thru. As soon as he was done, we walked around and we went to the break room in the back of Taco Bell and we flipped on that little 13-inch TV. And what happened? Second plane flew in less than a minute later. So I got to watch the second plane get hit. I'll never forget that. Never forget exactly where I was standing, what I was doing, the smells, the feeling, and all that stuff. All right. So grab somebody you love today and tell them you love them. Just like I'm going to tell you. If nobody else has told you today, Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. Thank y'all. Y'all be good. I'm signing off. I'll be back for Zoom tonight with the boys. WAP.com/team 786 if you want to come hang out. Also, I do a little live streaming with gaming. I play Wreckfest. I stream it on Rumble, Kick, and Twitch. Come hang out and watch that if you like. Watching some video games and shooting the bull. It's fun. Come play with us. It's a fun game to play. Why not? Thank you, guys. See y'all on the next stream. Y'all be good. I'm out. Sky's the limit. Peace.